Hi Hazel, Professor Ball here. How's it going? For paper number 2, you're going to be getting video feedback from me, as you can tell. And the first thing that I do when I open up an essay is I look at the MLA format. So you have your last name here and the page number. That's good. First and last name, my name, the class and the date. That is good. I'm just scrolling through here real quick and looking at your works cited page. Okay. So your essay is titled Aperture of Art. Over time, art gained more attention with cameras and internet, where many can view artwork without having to see them physically. Is it Jaja Faye? I don't know. Identifies using technology in art is a development, manipulating data and visuals to express her opinion. This is kind of odd. Using technology in art is a development, manipulating data and visuals to express your opinion. This sounds kind of like your thesis, manipulating data and visuals to express her opinion. Furthermore, she encourages technology to create more exposure to art through photographs of art pieces, data charts, and websites. In addition, photographs enhance her purpose and explain another perception of art. Okay, so you have a longish kind of thesis because it sounds like you have like one sentence, 3 sentences addressing how she, I'm guessing it's a she, makes her case, whereas it could just be she uses visuals, photographs, and data charts to make her case. All right, so let's just see how you develop this. An image of a museum pops up on the screen as Jaja Faye introduces herself and the advances digital and social media create for art. Moreover, she shows an image of her work announcing the image you're looking at here is a reproduction of a digital photograph of the Solomon R. Guggenheim Museum, where I work on 5th Avenue and 89th Street in New York City. She identifies her profession, confirming her credibility. With different photographs, she increases trustworthiness, providing background stories behind structural details. Also, she describes her experience. This is not a verb, so you don't need the comma. Experience as someone who actually saw the exhibition. Hold on a second. On my own, I was physically there. I can tell you the reproduction of the actual work does no justice, to the actual experience. She uses this in the audience as a contradiction to identify viewing art in photos decreases comprehension. As a contradiction to identify viewing art in photos that decreases comprehension. Additionally, she uses another photo stating, this is a photograph by the photographer Alfred Eisenstadt, who's a Martha's Vineyard local, of 2 teenagers sketching with the galleries. With an older photo explaining to the audience technology, she confirms the idea that photographing art is a way of understanding artistic concepts. Moreover, the photographs explain an increase of appreciation along with the data. All right, so you're telling me here about her imagery, which is good. So there's your point, there's your illustration here, and then you're explaining it here. So far, so good. Fame moves on by conveying statistics collected from other sources to indicate how the presence of the internet, affects viewing art. Thereafter, she shows a photograph of an exhibition, displaying the amounts of view it had, then describes. Thereafter, she shows a photograph of an exhibition displaying. That's a comma splice. You don't need a comma there. So look up comma splice. Thereafter, she shows a photograph of an exhibition displaying the amount of views it had, and then describes. The results of our social media campaign, however, indicated the exact opposite, with more than 5,000 photos on Instagram shared with the hashtag Tyrell. The data, visually typed out, identifies the publicity impact of taking pictures and posting. The data confirms digital representation can create more viewers. She also mentions, going back to the James Turrell exhibition, you'll see that this exhibition, with an incredible digital footprint, also brought in over 420,000 visitors who wanted to come to the museum to see it for themselves because they saw it on Instagram. By stating the result, that's another splice, Faye demonstrates the impact technology has on art, proving her initial claim. With the statistics data, she provides evidence in order for the audience to believe her issue. Also, she describes Instagram alone, 70 million photos are posted per day, and this is all coming at a critical mass because within the last 2 years, we've produced 90% of the world's data. Because of technology, more art is being posted, making it more popular. With numbers collected, she determines technology created a great significance on visitors. Furthermore, visual data attracts the audience, causing them to reassess effects of technology. If you're going to do the however with the comma, you do the semicolon. So technology, semicolon, however, comma. In her presentation, Connecting Technology and Art, she includes websites. Okay, so I see you trying to transition here. That's fine. I'm seeing thereafter a couple times, which isn't bad, but that's a unique word, so you might want to think of another way to transition from one idea to the next. Thereafter, she states, the reality is we live in a Google worldview, so when you search for an image online, you're searching on Google. You're trying to find the quickest way to find what you're looking for. With screenshots, she convinces us that the internet makes viewing art convenient. Take another look at that sentence. Not having to go to museums. Because people constantly look at pieces on devices instead of museums. Okay, this is a fragment. So what about it? You can combine it with the sentence before or the sentence after. In addition, she compares art to social media sites, stating, Monet is the most known for his landscapes and fascination with light through abstract painting, and today I would argue this is no different than our desire to express and represent the sunsets or sunrises for seeing on Instagram. She identifies technology mimics the same visual aspect of art. Faye defines online sources as modern expressions of art, enhancing public perspective. Also, she relates universally since internet is conventional. I don't know what that means. You might want to clarify that for me. She adds on, through making our images available online, through opening up access, through uploading our textbooks and catalogs, and making this information free for everybody on the internet. Faye declares using technology, Splice, opens more ways for art to be seen through online resources. Moreover, besides web pages to identify the influence technology creates for art, she also applies rhetoric. Good. Faye organizes her ideas to determine technological value to art, including rhetorical context. In the beginning of her speech, Faye includes a photograph of the Guggenheim Museum, and she states it is a reproduction of digital photographs of the didn't you just use this one? Of the digital photograph of the Solomon R. Guggenheim Museum, where I work on 5th Avenue and 89th Street in New York City. This is probably capital S. She introduces her occupation, working in an art museum, to inform the audience that she is credible. With Faye informing the audience, she's able to persuade her view of the digital effects on art. In addition, okay, hold on. So if you're going to talk about logos here, you might want to use the word ethos if you're talking about her credibility. With Faye informing her audience, she is able to persuade her view of the digital effects on art. In addition, she includes logos informing. In 1936, the German art critic Walter Benjamin wrote in his seminal essay, the work of art in the age of mechanical reproduction, that which withers in the age of mechanical reproduction, is the aura of a work of art. By including, now is this, oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, so you're quoting within a quote, good. By including logos in her speech, comma, she convinces the audience using evidence from a historical quote, contradicting her statement. After including historical context, she disproves the quote, probably a colon here because that's not a verb, and you're about to disprove the quote. Visitors have been sketching inside museums for years, and they've been taking pictures with regular cameras, not just mobile devices. She relates a historical context to the present, explaining time is different, and digitalizing art is the same as sketching for inspiration. Boy, you like this word. Right-click on this in Microsoft Word and see if there's another word you could use. Faye coaxes the audience using a variety of information. Not only are the concepts of rhetoric significant to enhance the perception of a problem, but there are also ways a speaker presents. This would be her ideas because it's a her, or him, I'm guessing, not their. Given the audience's visual references such as, no comma there, such as pictures and graphs, provides an adequate resource when it comes to the process of persuasion. They incorporated these ideas in her analysis of how technology encourages art appreciation. By describing the aspects of art and media, she defines that technology that opens more recognition and provides a new perception of artistic value. Good. Okay, so your conclusion mirrors the introduction where you're wrapping everything up. All right, so for your works cited page, the only thing that you're missing is you would want to include that it's from YouTube here, and then you also want the date that you found it. But it's works cited with a D. So overall, you do respond to the prompt. I see clear analysis. There's some sentence level concerns, which you'll see, as you go through the paper. Maybe repetition, punctuation. I would ask you to maybe condense your thesis statement to where it's easier to follow instead of having it looks like 3 different thesis statements. But overall, you do have the right idea. I will tell you that you did not tell me the name of the TED Talk here, which you'd want to do. And you'd also want to, you do mention what she does for a living, but you would also want to mention it in the introduction for contextualize. All right. So you're going to use this feedback for your next error log, possibly to help you with the next essay. So, oops, you don't want to see that. Let me know if you have any questions. Thanks.